Regardless of how this election plays out, and we're watching that, we do know there are votes coming in momentarily. But one thing is clear right now, we've got a really divided nation.
And to move forward, we're going to need to find common ground. And we have the guy who can help us with that, with some much needed perspective. The Most Reverend Michael Curry, presiding bishop of the Episcopal Church. Bishop Curry, good morning. It's so good to see you. I feel like we've had tough elections in the past, but this one is all by itself. Like, we have neighbors who aren't speaking to each other, family members who can't even begin to have a discussion. And it seems like a tall order, but how do you even start to heal this thing?
First of all, it starts with a decision that we are going to do this together. If you look on the Great Seal of the United States, you know, the one with the eagle and the, he has the arrows in one hand or one claw, and then the palm branches in the other. And above that eagle are written the words, e pluribus unum. Those words, e pluribus unum, from many, one, that's the motto of the United States. From many diverse peoples, one nation. You know, as we say in the Pledge of Allegiance, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That Latin phrase, e pluribus unum, comes from the writings of Cicero in the Roman Republic. And Cicero, in his writings, said, and I quote, "When each person loves the other as much as he loves himself, then one out of many becomes possible." I want to suggest that we can find common ground when we make a decision that I care about you as much as I care about myself. And when we do that, we can disagree without being disagreeable. We can find common ground, and we can heal this country.
That's the key. You know, I think maybe it's the Baptist in me, Bishop Curry, but I always feel like we got to look inward. You know, we can all look around and see the problem with the other and the problems with the world, but if you really want to make change, you got to look inward and ask yourself some hard questions. And what do you think, if folks are willing to do that, what should we be asking of ourselves in this moment to start to kind of be a healer and be the change that we wish we would see out there? Because we only can control ourselves.
Actually, you know what we have to do? We have to ask ourselves, what am I willing to do to make e pluribus unum real, from many one? And then decide, what can I do each day to make that real? You can't change everything, but you can change one thing. You can do one thing. What am I going to do today that's going to bring this nation together, bring us together as a human community? Look, we're all Americans. Shirley Chisholm said it a long time ago. You know, we all came over here on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. And that's really true. So how are we going to figure out, how can we live together? And the question is, what can I do today, not every day, today, to help to make e pluribus unum, from many one, real?
You know, it's funny, when you look around on the streets and you look in front of some of these polling places and you see people chanting and screaming, you get scared. It's scary. And I wonder if there's any lesson from history that you can draw from that could kind of give us some comfort.
Well, ironically, back in March of 2016, at one of the rallies for President Trump, during the campaign, and you remember there were protesters at rallies for both sides, for President Trump and Secretary Clinton. And at this particular rally, a white guy who was like 79 years old, who was a Trump supporter, punched a black guy who was a young guy, who was one of the protesters. Anyway, the guy who did the punching got charged with assault, and eventually he was sentenced with, I think, probation and community service. At the sentencing, he apologized, and he apologized to the man he punched. And he said to him, you know, we are in a political mess, both of us, and we've got to heal our country. And the guy who got punched said to him, well, let's go out to lunch. Let's go out to lunch. America, take each other to lunch. Somebody who's different than you are, somebody who's different political party, different political orientation, different religion, different race, somebody who's different, somebody from, I'm going to say it this way, MSNBC, take somebody from Fox. I mean, and back and forth. In other words, cross the aisles. Let's go to lunch. That will help to heal our land.
I like that. I like how that sounds, Bishop Curry.
And who doesn't love lunch, right, Bishop Curry? You know, I was just thinking.
You got it.
Yeah, I was just thinking this morning, your democracy we're supposed to disagree. It's
Yes.
not a sign that something's wrong if
Yes.
we have disagreements, but we're not supposed to hate each other. We're supposed to love each other and see each other as fellow Americans, and we're all God's children. And I think that's the spirit which hopefully we can proceed in these next few difficult days.
Bishop Curry, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. She does it during commercial break, too.
Yeah.
All right.
We love you. Thank you
so
so much.
much.
God bless y'all.